With its expansive coastline, lively culture, appetizing seafood, and rich heritage, Goa offers a lot to see and experience. We tried to explore the place as much as we could in 3 days. Come join us on our journey exploring Goa. We reached Panaji in the morning. We had booked 2 rooms in Hawaii Comforts Hotel near Hawaii Beach in Dona Paula. It is a decent hotel with a Goan restaurant attached to it. The hotel rooms were spacious and comfortable. Another good thing about the hotel is that they offer paid tour facilities to both North and South Goa. Dona Paula is a strategic place in Panaji. It is where the official residence of Goan Governor, the Raj Bhavan or Campo Palace is located. It is also home for the National Institute of Oceanography. Dona Paula Jetty was at a walkable distance from our hotel. The jetty has a viewpoint which offers an ethereal view of the Arabian Sea and the Mormugao Harbour. We recommend visiting the place either during the sunrise or the sunset, otherwise it can be really hot in here. Another attraction here is the old whitewashed statue perched on the rocks named as Image of India. For our local travel, we took a Maruti Swift on rent. In Goa, with a bit of bargaining, you can either get a taxi service or a rental car at a reasonable rate. When we reached Baga, it was time for lunch. We had already done a bit of research on where to eat and what to eat while in Baga. Britto's at Baga Beach is an iconic restaurant established in 1965, known for its ambience and food. We tried and enjoyed some of their specials including baked crabs, chili prawns and king crab. For dessert we had serradura or Portuguese sawdust pudding, which is quite popular in Goa. Baga Beach is one of the most happening and crowded beaches in North Goa. If interested, you can indulge in a variety of water sport activities like parasailing, banana rides and jet skiing. The beach is named after the Baga Creek, where the Baga River empties into the Arabian Sea. While the beach as a whole is quite beautiful, the Baga Creek holds a charm of its own. On our way back, we came down to Confetaria area to visit Fort Aguada. We were just in time for entry. The visitor timings to the fort are from 9:30 am to 6 pm. Fort Aguada is named after the freshwater spring that gives the fort a constant supply of potable water, agua being the Portuguese word for water. The Aguada fort is believed to be the best preserved Portuguese fort in India. This majestic 17th century fort is a monument to the Portuguese construction and engineering. The Aguada Lighthouse, built in 1864, is the oldest of its kind in Asia. The fort offers a panoramic view of the sea and the coast. The next day we set out for an early morning adventure. Our first stop was Miramar Beach, which was just 2 km from where we stayed. The long stretches of greenery along the side is quite characteristic of this urban beach. Unlike other beaches in Goa, you will not see so many tourists in here, but it is quite popular among locals, especially for morning walks. Just outside the beach was this art installation in the shape of a fish made entirely out of plastic waste. Fountainhas or Panaji's colorful Latin quarter is a feast to your eyes. It is located at the foothills of Altino Hills next to the famous Immaculate Conception Church. You can park your vehicle somewhere near the church and go on a walking tour through the streets. Fountainhas is known for its narrow streets lined with houses dressed up in bright colors of red, yellow, and blue. Most of these houses are still occupied by resident families who may have stories to narrate about their Portuguese ancestors. Some houses have been converted to beautiful cafes, shops, and heritage hotels. We reached the place quite early before the streets got all crowded up. It looked pleasant and inviting during the early hours. However, since it was a Sunday, the bakeries and shops in the area were closed when we visited. So we came back the next day around noontime, got to see the old St. Sebastian's Chapel built in the 1800s. From there, a short walk across the corner led us to the square, where the classy and famous Welcome Heritage Hotel trio Panchim Inn, Panchim Peoples and Panchim Pasoda are located. We visited the Geetanjali Art Museum, which is at ground floor of Panchim Peoples. The exhibition was good, but unfortunately videography was not allowed inside. Then we had lunch from Verandah restaurant attached to Panchim Inn. No trip to Fountainhas would be complete without visiting one of its landmark bakeries. There are many good old bakeries in Fountainhas catering both Portuguese and Goan sweets. We visited this quaint old bakery founded in 1930 called Confetaria 31 de Janeiro. In terms of size, it is a very small bakery with most seating arranged outside. But despite its size, it is a popular destination among young tourists and food bloggers. Here we did try some of their sweets, which are unique to Goa, and did like them. Sunday morning after the Fountainhas visit, we took a 2-hour taxi ride to Palolem Beach in South Goa. We had booked 2 rooms at Oxygen Palolem where we stayed for a night. The resort is tucked away in one end of a long beach. The room was large and spacious. All amenities for a comfortable stay were arranged in the room. The bathroom was also very spacious. However, to be frank, we felt the wooden cabins and artificial lawns characteristic of this resort a little out of place. This is not something we expect at a beach resort. Anyway, one good thing was that the resort was really close to the beach. We had lunch from a beachside shack. Food was not that great, but it was a good feeling to have lunch with a stunning view of the sea. This beach is perhaps one of the most unspoilt beaches in India. Later in the evening, we came back to the sea only to let ourselves loose on the shore for some time. The night was well spent exploring the nearby flea market. The flea market has everything from clothes, jewelry, and bags to bed sheets and home decor items. Even if you are not interested in shopping, you can simply walk along the long line of stalls and shacks to experience a true Goan vibe. Unlike other Goan beaches, the nightlife is sort of restricted here. The maximum you can get is a candlelight dinner by the beach. Next morning, as soon as we woke up, we came out to the beach. The sun, the sand, the water, the air, and the trees, everything felt magical here. We walked along the shoreline for some time, occasionally wetting our feet, and took some beautiful pictures with the sea as the backdrop. Our hotel doesn't have an in-house restaurant, so they provide us breakfast coupons which can be used in any of the 2 nearby restaurants for our complimentary breakfast. After the breakfast, we checked out from our hotel and traveled back to Panaji. Our last afternoon in Goa was spent exploring some of its famous churches in Old Goa or Vella Goa, former capital of Portuguese India. These churches and convents of Goa were declared as World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1986. The Basilica of Bom Jesus, built in the beginning of the 17th century, is the most famous among them. The sacred relics of Saint Francis Xavier are preserved in the basilica. Opposite to the basilica is the church and convent of Saint Francis of Assisi. The interior of the church is beautifully decorated with intricate artwork. There is a large archaeological museum attached to the church. Say Cathedral, also built in the 17th century, is the largest church in the complex. The main altar is dedicated to Saint Catherine of Alexandria. Saint Cajetan's Church, also known as the Church of Divine Providence, is a gracious old building having architectural similarities with Saint Peter's Basilica in Rome. Here comes the end of a long journey. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more videos.